I'm so sorry, I had to stop the first streaming. A neighbor is using a generator and it's making severe noise. And the noise was causing distraction, so I needed to stop it. But even though I shut my door and I warned the neighbor, I'm still hearing noise, but it's minimal. So let's start our show, right? Okay, good. Alright, so I'm sorry if you didn't see me as I started the show, but I had to stop the first one because my neighbors are using generator. I use inverter. So I had to go and warn them to stop because I told them earlier that the noise was going to distract me. I tried to do some things for them to help them overcome using generator, but they weren't going to stop all the same. I don't understand. But, well, I can still hear the noise, but let's manage it. All right. So let's continue. I'm talking about PACT. What is PACT? The acronym is Presidential Aspirants Coming Together, PACT. Well, let me give you a little background to it. Some 5-6 months ago, Nigerians began to complain that the change they sought by supporting President Buhari in 2015, they cannot see, coupled with how they joined by, clamoring for not too young to run to come up. I recall that many Nigerians began to say the Macron phenomenon in France, and after some of them also saw in Russia, at Russia 1918, that the president of Croatia as a young female person. So they were beginning to say, Nigeria cannot be left behind. Let us have a young person too being president of Nigeria. Well, as a response to this, many young persons who have notable records, who have integrity, who have dignity, began to respond. In their response, they then became too many. About 21 of them that at the last count, Nigerians then said, well, many young Nigerians then said, well, if we want to go for all of these people, we are going to be dividing our votes. That was then the new challenge. If we all divide our votes, how then do we displace these so-called old guards? That was when many Nigerians then started clamoring for, okay, can we have one of you come out while the rest of you sacrifice their own ambitions? That was what PACT birthed to respond to. PACT again is Presidential Aspirants Coming Together. Well, about 21 of them, how do we do this? Then PACT began to face challenges. The first shortcoming or criticism against PACT is that a female presidential aspirant on the platform of National Interest Party NIP, Mrs. Eunice Atoyejide, complained that PACT ignored the female aspirant, meaning that she saw that PACT was only going to reckon with male aspirants and female aspirants were not going to be reckoned with. So that was the first allegation. Subsequently, it didn't end there. The second criticism against PACT is that another aspirant, I didn't confirm this, but it was a report that Dr. Thomas Wilson Ekubese already distanced himself from PACT, shortly after the meeting began. And then we saw that not long after, this is even the most recent news about PACT, that Mr. Omoyele Sowore himself wrote to PACT that he is not comfortable with some things about PACT. What is he not comfortable with? He gave 6 reasons. I read 6 reasons. I didn't read the actual note he wrote to PACT officially, but I read the criticism about it, and that is what I want us to discuss. I'm not going to answer this question whether this PACT will work. I'm just going to ask us to answer it together. I'm just going to throw up the events that happened, and I'm going to tell us some updates, some information I gathered personally, and I want us to see the answer together. Oh, the neighbor already turned off the gen, and I think I have a better quiet now. That was what distracted me initially. I mean, I wasn't happy about the generator sound coming in. Okay, so while I do something quickly now, I want you to see the first meeting that happened at Birthed PACT. The first meeting was when all of them came together. I mean, in this video you're going to see, I'm just going to show you a snippet of it, because it's also alleged that one aspirant stole the show by bringing his own supporters to bombard the place with placard about his own campaign. So it looked like he was stealing the show. So I'm just going to show you a snippet of it. I'm not going to show you everything. So I'll let you see little of it, so as to refresh your mind, and also to let those who do not know what PACT stands for to have idea of it. While I quickly do something at my door right now, somebody's there. All right. So see a snippet of what happened at that Birthed PACT. Showore Droto Yekubese, Gaskia, Buhari, others meet for United. And then I'm going to come back and tell you what PACT is supposed to do, and the event as we speak right. I mean the update as we speak right now.
Are we done? Yes. All right. So.
Okay, I'm back, and I hope my earpiece is still working. Sorry, 1 minute. I don't know why my camera is also defocusing. Okay, my earpiece is working. So let me explain. PACT came out, and the lead motive, that is the main reason or the main goal of PACT, is to make other aspirants sacrifice their own goals, while they all agree to present only one aspirant to represent them, which simply means that if they all agree to present one person to front for them in order to go and deliver the election for them, the rest of them are going to sacrifice their own aspirations. That was what PACT originally set out for. Okay, so having said this, the process then started facing other setbacks. Recently, Omoyele Sowore of Sahara Reporters, who is also the founder and presidential aspirant on the platform of African Action Congress, a new party by the way, also wrote to PACT stating his own reason, stating his own concerns. But to me, if you ask me, it's looking like Sowore no longer believes in PACT, or Sowore no longer wants to put his whole, his emotion, his energy in PACT. While many Nigerians will be looking forward to seeing this PACT work, there's a news item, which is that Sowore is also giving concern about the activities of PACT, meaning that Sowore no longer he no longer believes in PACT. I want to show you some of the reasons why Sowore, some of the concerns Sowore conveyed to PACT, and I'll begin with the first one. The first reason Sowore is saying that he has concern about PACT is this. reason cited by Showore is that there's lack of participation in protest against INEC deadline for voters registration. But for me, Moghalu participated in that protest because I saw it and we also uploaded it. If Moghalu participated in that protest and Moghalu is a member, or Moghalu is also part of the PACT, it simply means that maybe officially PACT didn't participate in that protest, but then Moghalu, at least one of them, came out too. Does that mean Moghalu should also write PACT and see since PACT did not participate in that protest? Don't make mistake, I'm not criticizing Showore, I'm not criticizing Moghalu, I'm not criticizing PACT. We are all just looking at it together to decide, should this be, should this not be? Well, let's go to reason number 2, because I'm not here to judge or to decide for anybody or anything, or for any reason. The number 2 reason cited by Showore that he is having concern about activities of PACT. Alright, for those of you who do not understand what I mean by PT means premium time. Omoyele Showore is also concerned that when he and others went to the force headquarters to protest against the continued detention of premium time journalists for not revealing the source of information he disclosed or he published, the PACT did not participate in it. For Showore, let us now analyze it, and at this point let me turn off the sound that you're hearing right now, because I can also hear it. It's going to be distracting. Alright, good. So for Showore, it's about humanity. Even Showore coming out to contest is humanity. He wants to come and do, I have interviewed some of these aspirants and I've also covered some of them. I've attended their town hall meetings at different locations, so I can say some things about some of them. Showore is simply saying, come, what are we supposed to represent if PACT is not coming out to fight for a detained journalist? What then are we supposed to be doing even if we win this election? But then, the criticism that is popular against what Showore said in this reason number 2 is, you can go and do your protests. You can do whatever you want to go and do. It's your deal. But as far as PACT is concerned, PACT is not set out for this reason. PACT was not set up to be protesting. So it's your personal thing. By the way, the day Showore went for this protest, he didn't communicate officially to PACT that he was not going to be at the meeting. It also coincided with the meeting of PACT. So Showore knew that there was going to be a PACT meeting, but at the same time, he was also going to protest and moving all his members to the protest ground. But then he missed PACT meeting for that protest. And PACT is saying, we were not set up to protest. Your protesting is your personal thing. We were set up to see who among all of you aspirants was going to come out. Again, don't make mistake. I'm not saying neither PACT, nor Showore, nor Moghalu, nor Durotoye, or Fasua, or Ekubize is right. Or Shina Byron is right. No. I'm just saying, let us all look at it together and at the end of the day decide what is likely to happen. Will PACT work? Reason number 3 that Showore is beginning to give concern or raise concern about the PACT. I should allow you to see that also, because we are going to 6 reasons. Reason number 3, I beg your pardon, is gonna come up shortly. Okay, this is reason 3. Let's go there. Well, Showore is also saying that members of the PACT belong to CUPP and PDP. PDP is the same thing as CUPP. Well, but that's not the issue. Let me turn off this sign, it's going to distract us. Well, CUPP and PDP, is it new? Did they just come into the did they just come into the PACT? These members of PDP and CUPP, did they just come into PACT? And I also recall that in one interview we had with Eunice Atuejide, she also raised this concern by saying that if some people are defending the exclusion of herself and some other female aspirants from the PACT, is because our NIP, that is our own party, joins CUPP. If that is the reason you excluded them from the PACT, are there no members of CUPP? Are there no aspirants on the platform of PDP or other parties that are already in CUPP also in PACT? So it's not new that there are members of CUPP or PDP in PACT. It's not as if they joined lately. They joined from the beginning. So for me, that is also not enough reason. I mean, if there are only two reasons you want to exclude yourself from PACT, as far as they are strong enough, we all understand. But that other members of PACT belong to CUPP and PDP, for me, is also not enough. All right? I'm just talking personally. Your views might be different. So it's a live show. Everybody's allowed to comment. So you can also say your thing too. All right? So let's go to reason number 4 now. Reason number 4. Let's go. Okay. Sincerely, I'm going to talk sincerely. This time, I agree here. The selection process is going to exclude the Nigerian people, because I called some members of the CUPP, of the PACT, PACT. I inquired about it, and this is the process. Let me expose it to you. The process is like this. All of them are going to sit down. About 21 of them are going to sit down, and they are going to write in a paper, if it is not me, who among us here do I think again will deliver this election for us? If not me, who will deliver this election? For me too, it's somehow, because personal sentiments may set in. Some of them do not even belong to parties yet. Some of them belong to parties but are not certain to win primary. So how about somebody that has worked? Dr. Faswa has worked before any of them, for instance, creating a party, defeating everybody to become the feasible or visible presidential flag bearer, not an aspirant anymore. And some persons who merely declared interest will then come, and some other people will use, share interest to decide that, oh, this person should be, and I'll lose all the hard work I have done. I do not also agree with that. So I agree with Shore in this number 4 reason, that the selection process for consensus aspirants excludes the Nigerian people. Because if we all shut ourselves in a room and decide, how would it be different from how the military came about who should topple who? It's not different, so we are not going to make any difference with that. And I'm not saying that should also be your response to Shore's reason number 4. I'm just saying, well, in my own opinion, I agree with Shore here, that once the process for selection of the consensus aspirant among all these members of PACT excludes the Nigerian people, is also not likely to deliver what everybody is looking for. Let's go to reason number 5. don't forget that I've also said I do not agree with some reasons cited by Shore for raising concern about activities of the PACT. But on this one, I agree. So let's go to reason number 5. And here it comes. I'm looking for this reason. Alright, here it comes. Some of you that understand this will know what it means. Most of the aspirants are not even certain that they are going to win their primaries in their respective parties. So if, for instance, somebody that has traveled all over the world, you know, and has also worked by traveling several geopolitical zones of the country. We have 36 states in Nigeria, and somebody has traveled almost, if not more than 30 of them, talking to people in town hall meetings. All those hard work, you just throw them in for somebody at a small PACT meeting. Who is not even certain that he's going to win his own primaries? Are we sure now? Are we sure now? So this is the second reason out of 6 that I'm agreeing with Shore that this PACT thing, there are concerns. PACT therefore needs to begin to look at the process and accordingly adjust if this PACT must work. I mean, I'm just talking for myself. I don't know your reason. I mean, your view, your perspective might be different. Let's go to reason number 6 cited by Omoyele Shore. So let's go there. AAC is already in talks with other political parties, and I learned that one of the parties is NCP, and there's another party I forgot to memorize, but I know NCP quite well, that's why I can remember it. Well, is that enough reason to quit? Well, I'm sure that PDP that spearheaded the formation of CUPP is also in talks with other parties that are not yet in CUPP. Alright, and CUPP, some members are also still going to withdraw from CUPP. I mean, some party members are also still going to withdraw from CUPP. And then AAC, Chore's party, is in talks with other parties for coalition aside from PACT. Does it mean, is Chore simply trying to say that he's going to consider another coalition and quit or jettison the PACT? I'm not concluding, but I'm simply saying that, is this reason reasonable? I mean, is this reason a reason? Well, whatever you want to say is fine, but I want to see what, because I just had a glimpse on what people are already seeing on the live chat, and I want to see. So let me also see if I can try bring some of the live comments into the show for everybody to see. But what I'm trying to do, that let me show you again what the formation of PACT, the day they started with PACT.
Are we done? Yes. All right, so... All right, so.
All right. The concern again is whether this pact will work. All right. So I tried to bring in what some people are saying on the live chat. Let's see some of them. Alright, so Prof, I've turned on the background music so that you can also hear. Alright, thank you so much. And Sowore is a Nigerian patriot. Isaac Omola is saying this. Sowore is a Nigerian patriot and he has to consent with PACT to win. Prof, reason number 4, I agree with Sowore. Well, like I said, I also agree with Sowore for reason number 4. And then Moses, you say, can analysis here make a change? Maybe you mean that an analysts make a change. Please specify what change you like me to make. I am adjustable to any kind of change you want. I'm adjustable. And then Prof came back again and said, PACT needs to reach out to Nigerians just the way Sowore has done. The places Sowore didn't visit, they should. Nigerians need to know that we can get better and good governance. Olajimeji Friday say you stand with Sowore. Well, it's personal. At the same time, well, we're not looking at any particular aspirant in this. Don't let us make mistake about whether I'm not standing with anybody in this analysis. We're just talking about what we think the PACT will bring about, all right? So if you still have comments, keep them coming. I'm reading the live comments so that all of us can see. While I'm waiting for the comments to come in, okay, let's say this. For me, for those of you that are commenting about Sowore, I think, let me say this also. There are only 2 reasons for which I agree with Sowore in the 6 reasons he cited. I agree, for instance, number 1, that if Sowore has done all those works he has put in, and he's not the only one, for instance. Tope Faswa built party, Abundant Nigeria, party, ANRP. Ikubese is not just anybody. Shina Byron is not just anybody. It's not just anybody you can just shove aside. Similarly, there are also many of them. Fela Duroto is not just anybody you can shove aside. Okay, if for instance we now agree that the process set out, highlighted by PACT should be followed. And the process simply is that everybody should write on a piece, on a sheet, and squeeze and present. If not me, who else do I feel or do I want to represent us while the rest of us sacrifice our ambitions and we all support the person? Okay, if I, for instance, rise tomorrow morning and also declare my interest, I don't even have a party yet, and I joined the PACT. I don't even have a party yet. Even if I have a party I've indicated interest in, and the party I am not even certain, or I'm not even sure about winning their primaries, and I just come up in the morning and everybody just sees me as one young guy, he's so respectful to everybody. He'll be malleable. This guy will be my friend. He'll be responsible. And everybody just use that sentiment to vote me. And I've not done as much work as Tope Faswa has done, creating a party. And as much work Eunice Atu Ejide has done, creating National Interest Party. I've not done as much work as Sowore has done, traveling almost everywhere in the world, talking to all Nigerians he can find, to say, Nigerians in the diaspora, we are going back home to go and work. Traveling more than 30 states already of the 36 states of the country. to go and talk to Nigerians, risking his life on the road, in flight, including fighting. Fela Durotoye. I mean, all of us saw how he confronted a supposed big man at the airport and saying, sorry, you can't be a cheat here. You have to join the queue. All of those people have worked. They will now say, oh, Segun came just yesterday, but he's one humble guy. He's respectful. He's bright. He's smiling. He's always smiling on screen. I want to choose him, and everybody choose me. What do you think is going to happen? All those hard works are going to be thrown in the dustbin? No. So I also agree with Shogure for the reason number 4, 5 that is stated. Although I don't agree with other reasons, maybe you shouldn't have even cited them at all. Because the reason for which the PACT was created are not in tandem with the excuses he gave in the consent he raised about the PACT. So please, I am not opposing or supporting, and you will see that I mentioned about 5 names, for instance, of those that I have met one-on-one, that I have worked. Kingsley Moghalu also did some overseas town halls. Kingsley Moghalu, for instance, I also met him in Unilag talking to University of Lagos students. Unilag students, talking to them, one-on-one, engaging them. They were asking questions, he was responding. I couldn't upload all the videos on Objective Media, but it did work. He has been, have you seen his video, dancing shaku shaku, trying his beats to be contemporary? Have you seen Kingsley Moghalu in the East? He visited just like Shogure also visited one of his secondary school teachers who taught him biology. Kingsley Moghalu also visited his own alma mater, secondary school, back then. He went back to Anambra. He went back to the East, started engaging people, saying, we can make this better. A lot of people are invested everything. A lot of people are invested trust, hope. They have invested their hard work. They have invested their sleep. They have told their families, please, for this period, you have to understand, I'm not at home. I don't have the time. So please, let us understand that PACT's process is not going to, it looks too simple. It looks, I don't know what other word to use there, but let's agree, let's all understand. I'm not saying you should agree compulsorily, but let us all understand that the process laid down by PACT is not going to work like that, like as simple as they made it look. I couldn't have worked for over 6 months, deny myself sleepless nights, only to come up one morning and say, oh, if it is not me, let it be Eunice. Eunice will say, if it is not me, let it be another female, maybe Elisha Mahide or Professor Remi Shonaya. Or Fela Durotoye will say, if it is not me, Shogure is just too arrogant. If it is not me, let it be Moghalu. Moghalu will say, if it is not me, let it be Durotoye. They will choose themselves. Or, and so on and so forth. That does not represent the interest of Nigerians. So, I think PACT needs to come up with another process. They need to modify it. Make it open a little. Let Nigerians come in. And I'm not saying they should allow all aspirants bring all their supporters this time to come and bombard the process. No. PACT needs to sit down, reject the process. PACT needs to sit down, reorganize it. PACT needs to sit down, rethink it. The process they laid out at first, for me, is not even going to work. I mean, for me. And I think I've spoken too much. At this time, let me see what other Nigerians are saying on the live chat. Prof, he said the PACT need to work for good of Nigerians. He said, bless me, Lord, says, Shogure, yes, take it back, brothers, and no. I just want us to contribute to this topic now, all right? Moses, yeah, you didn't take it back, DP. So I'm not going to read your own. So it may look like you're already one-sided. But let me still read. You said we should not worry about them. They are all intelligent people, and I knew they will pick Shore. Well, bless me, Lord, say Shore is unstoppable. Well, Isaac Omolayo, they should allow Nigerians to vote online for them to pick PACT flag bearer. Chris Maloney, well, Olu Mike says, to defeat APC and PDP, they need a strong coalition. Shore alone cannot defeat these monsters in 2019 unless there is a coalition. If there is personal sentiments, what makes them different from APC and PDP? Femi Olotu, my advice to all of them to pick and support. Well, I don't want to read about any particular aspirant here because I want all of us to look at PACT, not one aspirant here. Okay, let me scroll back to see what others have said before. I think, okay. They should work as a team. That's Volsi Easy. Volsi Easy say, I see how Western world drew and play their politics, which made our leader go there and bank stolen money and buy properties. Osaro favor, it will work if they all agree together. Yes, it's the same thing we're talking about here, actually. Okay, all right. So I think at this point, I might need to end the show because it's looking like if we continue to allow more people come on this show. Okay, so someone said PACT will work if the parties involved want to make it work. I agree with you too. Prof, you came back and said PACT needs to conduct a debate for this bright mind on national TV like NTA channels, AIT, TVC, Ben TV, etc. This will enable more Nigerians to know more about them. The debate will differ then from APC and PDP. Ruda, Shore is bold to face the cables face to face. Our choice is Shore. Okay. Okay. I think Shore people are beginning to bombard this space. But let me remind that is not the idea here. Bless me, Lord, says RIP APC and PDP. Well, let us remind ourselves that APC and PDP are not going to leave. APC, I don't call it APC PDP, I call it APDPC because it's the same thing. If some people are following Philadelphia way, some revolutionary people are following Shore, some revolutionary people are following Mogalu, we are still not different because it will look like Igbo revolutionaries are following Mogalu, Yoruba revolutionaries or Southwestern revolutionaries are following Shore, and then who else? The Yorubas will even still be divided between Shore and Philadelphia. The females are not even coming out. I don't understand it. Who will support the female aspirants? Well, at any rate, what we are simply saying is, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Are Nigerian young persons ready for a revolution at all? Are they ready? It's not looking like it. It's not looking like we're ready. If we are truly ready, we should not be having a situation where we are still divided among aspirants. Alright? Otherwise, like some pro-Buhari youths who are even much in number are already saying Buhari till 2023. And there's nothing to hide here. We have to be careful. I agree that, and I'm going to say this also. 2019 is still a long time, as far as most of these aspirants are still working. So many things can still happen. But we are losing time by the day. If PDP is already uniting and saying we have to get power back, APC members are uniting, they are identifying themselves, who is still the campaign, who is remaining. They are identifying themselves and saying, come, we have to make sure that we retain this power. And there are many. Look at the crowd that came to welcome Akpabio upon his defection from PDP to APC in Akwa Ibom State alone. Buhari will just sit down in his room and say, Tinubu, Ambode, tell Ambode I'm coming to Lagos tomorrow. Do you know the crowd under how many hours for Lagos State alone? When Showore went to announce his when Showore went to open AAC in Lagos State, when it came to Lagos State to, to declare AAC at Adimosho, what size of crowd did he have? To me, Showore is only appealing to the same set of people who already know him. He's not gaining new people. And if all of you are still saying, it's Mogalu, it's Showore, it's Durotoye, it's this, it's that, for how long? For how long? 2019 is already knocking. Voters registration is already closing. Oh, they fought for the extension, 2 weeks. How many people will be accommodated within this period? Even those people that are going to be accommodated, do you know the direction of their votes? Just as the young or new generation aspirants are encouraging new people to go and register, the existing ruling party is also encouraging people to go and register. We need to think, is 2019 for Nigeria's Macron, or is it still for Nigeria's Mugabe? We need to think, we need to talk to ourselves. If we cannot present one person, if most of these people cannot sacrifice their aspirations, but I also understand that some of them are also being sponsored by the ruling party to go and disrupt what PACT is planning. Oh, who is even the creator of PACT itself? I don't know. I'm just saying, So for Nigerian young persons, it's not yet Uhuru. It's not yet Uhuru. It's not over yet. It's a long walk to freedom. So please, what are we saying, Nigerians? Oh, some are saying Buhari is still doing well. Let's allow him to 2023 before we then begin to talk about young aspirants. Oh, I'm not agreeing, I'm not disagreeing. Alright? Because this is a live show and a lot of people are coming in to talk about their own opinion. Okay? Let me take some new comments again. No, please don't introduce tribes into this. The people following these guys are intelligent. Okay, well, I agree with you. Okay, bless me Lord says, Showore made it clear 50-50 men and women. Uchenna, Showore is gaining new people and so as some of other young aspirants may be wrong. Well, I'm just saying what my observation is, right? You may be right too. Elizabeth, crowd doesn't mean all are not is. Maybe you're referring to Akpabio there, okay? Bosun Adebanjo, Showore is aggressive to tackle the remaining T's left in government. Mogalo's my choice for Minister of Finance because his intelligence in finance experience. Bosun Adebanjo say, I think that we'll all come together sometime soon. It's possible. Olamide Farinde, you say, please stop talking about Showore like that. Showore is getting more ground, bro. I'm not saying it's not getting more ground. I'm just saying it's going to different states and gaining young converts. I mean, people who are already converts. Because if I look at people who he's talking to, they look to me like people who are already converted, right? That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. It doesn't look like he's gaining more of those people that are already in the shackles of the ruling party. That's what I mean. So please do not get me wrong, all right? Okay. Uchenna Ogbona, they said they are all working individually for now. In due course, the puzzle will be properly fixed. We must work and remain positive. Well, I agree with you. Rhoda says she will know every problem in Nigeria. Well, the spelling of no is what confused me. No is Shore knows means the spelling should be K-N-O-W. So when it says Shore no, it looks like the opposite of yes. Okay, so Rhoda. And then Moses says, Andrew, I'm 36 years, but I refuse to vote since because of tribalism. Please don't relate Shore support to tribalism. Well, I don't also want us to talk tribalistically here, but my interest is how feasible is 2019 for a Nigeria's Macron? Okay, that's my only interest here. I don't have sentiment for anybody. Whether you are supporting Durotoye, you are supporting Mogalo, or you're supporting Shore, or Eunice Atwejide, or you're supporting Ikubeze, or you're supporting Tope Fasua. My interest is how feasible is it to realize a young president in 2019? Because don't also foreclose that Buhari may not also contest in APC. He may say, guys, please, I don't want to go back again. Can you please present a young person? So APC might still come up with a young aspirant. So what are we talking about here? So please, APC might still come up with a young aspirant. PDP may still come up with a young aspirant. So will there be a difference at the end of the day there? All right. Let me read more comments because we spent so much time here and I want to close. But Boston came back and said, Boston Adebanjo, my advice for everyone that wants good change, that we should please accept what the guys come up with when they all come together. We shouldn't accept what they come up with. But do not forget, as I started the show, I already announced that some of them are already beginning to raise concerns about activities of PACT, meaning that they may not want to remain in PACT. So what becomes of PACT? What becomes of PACT if all of these people decide to hedge out? All right. I'll come your way again. I want all of you to just think about it. Somebody else came up and said, Shalom said, I think they are all good. They should come together through primary and pick one candidate. Well, we already raised this concern. Emmanuel Akimoyero said they all need to put the people's interest first, which is what we're saying. It will make it easy for all of us it will make it easy for all young Nigerians who are clamoring or craving that they should present a common front. It will make it easy for all of them. You know why I said so, and I agree with you, because it will be easy. We are not going to be dividing votes among young aspirants. Okay? 2019 is very feasible with our determination and God on our side. We can do it. I agree with you also. I agree with you, but let us be realistic when we have hope too. Hope is one thing, realism is another thing. Let's balance it. The reality is that if elections were tomorrow, we are going to divide all young people. If they are voting, young or new aspirants are going to divide their votes among these people. All right, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Then Prof said PACT needs to know that Nigerians have more of unreasonable citizens who feel the government now are better. PACT needs to find mediums or strategy to enlighten the unreasonable citizens. I don't know what that means really. Moses Andrew said, I like your stand, and you didn't complete it. But Emmanuel Akimoyero, he came back and said, the main goal is to change the old leaders, not fighting each other. I agree with you. This is exactly why I came up tonight to talk about this PACT. So I do not know, will this PACT work? The main goal is to change the old leaders. I agree with you, Emmanuel Akimoyero, which is why this not young to run bill started and then became a law that President Muhammadu Buhari himself signed. Okay. Femi Olotu, you say let everybody get PVC and vote PDP and APC out. Take it back, Showore. If everybody has PVC, APC members also have PVC. PDP members have PVC. All right. So, but what we're talking about is, will this new PACT work? Will everybody agree to vote one person among all these young aspirants that are coming out? That's what the discussion is about tonight, right? Okay. So, Bless me, Lord, say, don't worry, I just convert 1,000 PDP members today to AAC. Hey, you're working, I love that. You know, but are you also aware that ENRP members of Tokwe Fast are also converting people on the daily basis? Are you also aware that Thomas Ekubesi, Dr. Thomas Ekubesi is also converting people by the day? Are you also aware that Fela Droto is converting people by the day? Are you also aware that Eunice Atujide is converting people by the day? Are you also aware that Elisha Maide is converting people by the day? Are you also aware, for instance, that Professor Mrs. Remishonaya is also converting people by the day, as well as Shina Byron is converting people by the day, Jaye Gaskia is converting people by the day, as well as the rest of them. But what we are simply talking about is not whether we are converting people by the day, it's about whether all the people that have been converted variously can come together and make just one choice to make it easy to defeat the old gods. All right? That's what we're saying. Okay. Bless me, Lord came back and said, I'm not through until Nigeria get it right. Okay. Chris Maloney said, a common front will do the miracle come 2019, which is what we're talking about here. How will this common front therefore emerge? It's the question of the day. I get it. I get it. Okay, let me go to the next. Bless me, Lord came back and said, younger aspirants PDP is dead on arrival. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Let us be realistic. PDP has structures already. They governed for 16 years, even though they fumbled. 16 whole years they governed. So they have the structures to the ward level nationwide. What does that mean? That simply means that you can wish it away. Young people are just starting. I don't have a party yet. I don't. I'm still studying who are we going to present unanimously so that young people can decide to follow. If it continues like this, Shere goes on his own, because all the 6 reasons presented by Shere are indications that he may back out of PACT. And I'm being sincere with you. He may back out of PACT. If Shere backs out of PACT, Dr. Fasua says he's not content with the process at PACT. Fela Droto says, well, he's no longer comfortable with what PACT is saying. Ikubese backs out. Jai Gaskia says he doesn't understand what is going on in PACT. And everybody queues behind their own respective candidates. What do you think is going to happen? It's walkover for APC. Do not also forget that even as Fayos's candidate lost in Ekiti, he still has clout. Fayose, if he joins APC tomorrow, because there's no difference after all, joins APC because he's already contemplating it. Who will if they deliver Ekiti, Fayose and Fayemi delivers Ekiti to Buhari APC. Akeredolu wants to deliver Ondo to APC. Ambode and Tinubu deliver Lagos to APC. Amosu delivers Ogun to APC. Akwa delivers Akwa Ibom to APC. And so on and so forth. And you are talking about young presidency in 2019. I love hope. I also have hope. But let's balance hope with realism. Let's balance hope with realism. So, if these people do not come together, it will be hard. If I don't stop this show, more comments will keep coming. That's something about live show. Okay? So, Daudu Shehu says, the other people you mentioned are not serious. Well, whatever you think, most of them are waiting for after primary. Shore has not also started campaign yet. What Shore is doing is town halls. So you can't say others are not serious. Their accesses to fund are different. Their clouds are different. Their riches, their networks are different. Some of them are waiting and calculating. This is politics. Don't make mistake. Politics usually is about the die minutes. The sentiment at the die minutes. And let me quickly tell a story. Somebody contested here in Lagos during the last local government election in Lagos State. He met youth. In fact, there was one historic feud among youth in the community. He settled it. Called meetings of all cult gangs, settled it. Met the LCDA, settled everybody. Met with them, made them understand that development was on its way. He did everything. He did door-to-door campaigning, knocking. He finished all his work and won the election. Only for him to get to INEC office on the day he was supposed to receive his certificate of return. Overnight, they changed his name to the name of somebody that did not even work at all. How about that? How about that? I won't mention name, and I won't tell you the local government because you'll find out. Because they have already spoken with him, they have called him, they have said, calm down, we'll compensate you. Don't worry. That is the person we want. As for you, you have worked hard, you have demonstrated that you can work, we'll compensate you. This is politics. Away from that, let me give you analysis B of somebody. This is politics. Let's not make mistakes. All right? It's different from I don't agree activism. No, this is politics. All right? So you have to be allowed. Shore understands it. For instance, so those of you that are supporting Shore on this live show, Shore understands it. Politics is not the same as what all of you are thinking. All right? So I'll give you the analysis B. I just give you analysis A of somebody who won election, but his name changed while he was supposed to collect his certificate of return. The name changed on the INEC list. That is specimen A. Let me give you specimen B. Specimen B is of people who have worked, okay, I can mention this person's name for instance now. The last local government election. Alright? He contested under Kowa party in Ikeja local government. His name is Gbadebo Vivo. MIT graduate for that matter. Gbadebo wept. Do you know what happened to him? He did all the works that anybody, more than anybody. But on the day of election, people came out, including those that he personally registered. He personally took to go and register their PVCs. On the day of election, they came out and said, oh bros, it is because of you are voting, we are voting for the first time. It is because of you I'm voting for the first time. But when they got to the queue, they said, oh, So about 40% of them say, oh, I can't withstand this long queue. I have to go back home. Oh, sorry, when it's time to vote, call me. I can't stand accreditation, voting, monitoring votes. I can't stand it. They left. 40%. Another 30% who waited said, bros, APC is giving so amount. PDP is giving so amount. But because I'm coming out for the first time because of you, at all, now you bad. Give me something. Give me something. And he said, don't forget, I already told you we are here to work. We are not here to bribe. We want to make sure that our schools are standard. We want to make sure that our roads are good. We want to do this. They said, bros, let me tell you the word in French and I will interpret it in English language. Second cahier is a Yoruba adaptation for French, which means kokaye. Bros, second cahier. I came out because it is you. Otherwise, I don't vote. APC is giving 2005. PDP is giving 15. You, even if it is 500, my transport fare, give me. Otherwise, I'm not voting. Those who refused to give money to left, they went back home. All right? I'm not saying this election has to be about money, but I'm saying that it's still primitive. It's an evolution. It's not going to be magical in 2019. It's evolving. So we cannot totally jettison what happened in 2015 in 2019 because it still happened how many months ago, how many weeks ago in Ekiti. Fayemi and Fayoshe doing stomach infrastructure face to face. Vote me, I roger you. 2019 is only going to be slightly different. It's not going to be totally different. They have their machinations, state by state, word to word. So let's not deceive ourselves. Let's be realistic. So the second system I'm giving you is that of Badebaru's rival, and I've already mentioned his name, but I won't mention the name of the first person in case A. I prefer to mention that of case B because it doesn't belong to the ruling party, and I'm also feeling for him. Somebody worked, but on the day of election, the emotion, the sentiment of the minute of who is paying more worked. And because he refused to pay anybody a dime, another 30% left. It was only 20% that said, we understand what you came to communicate to us when you came to our house. It was only that 20% that stood by him and said, we are going to stand throughout. Come rain, come shine today, we are going to stand and deliver this election to you. The reason he didn't go to tribunal, he saw it by himself. He did not win. Because most of those people that voted on the day voted on the basis of who was paying, who called me out and is giving me at least something to cover for my transport and go back home. What some of you will call logistics or mobilization. Alright? So I know there are more comments coming in, but somebody is saying Daudu Sheon says Ajimobi can't deliver your state. You can only speak for yourself. The moment people start sharing money, the moment the government starts sharing money to electorates on election day, they will forget his wrongdoings. At least I can guarantee that about 45% will forget his wrongdoing and will follow him regardless. You understand? You say Akeredolu is the most hated person in Ondo State, but he's still the governor. Why has he not been impeached by the parliament? I mean, by the State House of Assembly? Let's not make mistake. All right. Okay, so I think at this point I want to call it a day. Tell us the person that they are settling. I think I can't see the full comment there. Say, tell us the person that they are settling for. I guess that's what you're trying to say. But, well, at any rate, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you who APC is settling for. I'm not going to tell you who PDP is settling for. But prepare your mind that if Buhari if Buhari finally says, don't force me to contest, they will definitely want to contest with these young aspirants too, by presenting a young person. Don't forget there's a Donald Duke. Do not also forget that there are also younger persons in APC and PDP. Okay? So, if APC or PDP presents a totally neutral person that has no criminal record, that has no past record of evil, that has no past record of stealing, that has no past record of... And they were presenting the way they presented Buhari in 2015. It will make it also difficult. They are also calculating, they don't sleep. They don't sleep. If APC presents Osinbajo, let's be realistic. If APC presents Osinbajo, because I saw a lot of Nigerians already clap, including the youths you are expecting to vote your young aspirants. They are clapping for Osinbajo just for visiting the site of a building that collapsed. While President Muhammadu Buhari was away in London on the ground of his health. Alright? Vice President Yemi Osinbajo visited the site of a collapsed building. And many of the young people you are expecting to join this train of yours, of Showore, of Mogalu, of Durotoye, of Ikubesi, of Jayi Gaskia, of Eunice Atuejide, of Tope Fasua. These people, they are clapping for Osinbajo. And do you know the comments they make? They are saying, if APC presents Osinbajo, and they are citing only two things. Number one, that the first time President Muhammadu Buhari left Nigeria on ground of his medicals, that dollar crashed while Osinbajo took over. Number two, and within that also, they cited that it was Osinbajo, it took Osinbajo to sack that NIM or NIA boss who claimed the money found in the Koyi mansion. They say it was Osinbajo that single-handedly fired him. They are also already, number two, crediting Osinbajo for firing, Daura, the DSS boss, and also for visiting the site of a collapsed building. Those two things alone, for a ruling, for an incumbent, most of those people you are believing in to come and vote Showore, Ikubese, Tope Fasua, Eunice Atuejide, or Jayi Gaskia, or Byron, they are already clapping for Osinbajo. I'm a realist. I'm simply saying that, hello everybody, if you know this work is meant to be done, all of you, forget PACT, all of you need to call these aspirants together and do serious talks with them. And I mean serious talks with them. So that if there's a united front, it will make it easier. Otherwise, let's be realistic. Let's not deceive ourselves. You may be raising money, you may be making money, you may be having access to fund. But is it about yourself, or is it about delivering the election? Okay, except of course, as I've been hearing some people saying, that they say they are only laying foundation for 2023. If that is what you're doing, it's fine. But as far as 2019 is concerned, if you truly want to take Nigeria back, under this present arrangement, you're only appealing to the same set of converts. You're only meeting the same set of converts in different status. The people who already know you, who already want you. You okay? But democracy is about gaining new people, gaining the majority, not the same set of people who only believe in what you believe in. Okay? So that is the point. That is the LCM of all we have been saying all day. And if we continue to say, I belong to Durotoye, you belong to Showore, another person belongs to Ikubese, another belongs to Elishama, the other person belongs to Eunice Atuejide, and the other one also belongs to Tope Fasua of ANRP. You will divide the little votes you are supposed to have, and none of them, at the end of the day, will single-handedly have up to 1 million votes. We can write it down. What is today's date? Put it down and quote me If they do not unite, it will be difficult because they are going to divide the votes among themselves. Forget whether AAC is number 1 on the ballot or number 3. It will not always matter. They know, even illiterates know the logo of APC since 2011 or at least since 2015. So, but let's leave it, okay? Let's all be realistic, all right? Okay, so I'm going to call it a day tonight, and then tomorrow we'll come back and continue. My name is Segun once again, and subscribe to this channel. Let's continue to engage ourselves like this, and let's see what we can do together. That's number 1. Number 2, hit the bell button that you see. It means notification, so that when next I come online, you can see, you can be notified that we're online, so that we can continue to engage ourselves. Share this video also. That's number 3. Share the video so that more people can see, more people can interact, more people can engage. Let's tell ourselves the hard truth at this point. There's no point hiding under a finger anymore. Yes, let's not hide under a finger. I'm not here to say one aspirant is good, the other is bad. I have no more interest in one over the other. No, I'm just saying, if we must do this thing, let us all see to our one person among all of these people is representing the youth aspiration. Otherwise, like some young persons are already saying, it's Buhari till 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, I call it the day today. My name is Segun once again. Until I see you again tomorrow, don't stop talking about things that matter. Thank you very much. I quit here.